Yeah. Rewind the reel, let the vinyl hiss. Before the stadiums, before the screams. Back when the world was small enough to fit inside a smoky club where destiny danced under cheap gold lights. 4 boys from Liverpool, and the architect to fire himself. They walked in nervous, eyes wide as a midnight train. Hair slick but heart stumping like monsoon rain. Richard on the poster, makeup sharp as a knife. The man who sang thunder into every corner of life. Paul whispered, John, you think we belong here? John grinned crooked, hiding a flicker of fear. George hugged his guitar like a brother real tight. Ringo cracked a joke, masking tremors of the night. They been grinding through bars where the drunks barely listen. Now they stood in the temple where the sweat drops glisten. Little Richard was a storm, the preacher the spark. While they were 4 silhouettes hiding in the dark, he strutted and laughing like lightning in his shoes. A king born to break every earthly rule. He saw the Beatles staring, said y'all ready to fall. Then wink, you can add a stage till I take it off. Little Richard on the keys like a spark in the dark, and the Beatles in the shadows trying to capture the spark. 4 kids, 1 king in a temple of sound. Yeah, the roots run deep when legends come around. Woo. The night shook under neon and steel. Little Richard and the Beatles, history made real. When the Beatles opened, the room barely stirred. A couple feet tapping, maybe 1 kind word, but they played with a hunger sharpened by the unknown. Cause greatness sometimes starts feeling alone. Then the curtain split open like thunder catching breath. Richard hit the stage like he had cheated death. Silver suit, wild hair, high voltage grin. He screamed once, and the whole crowd caved in. He pounded those keys like he was splitting the sky. Let out a woo that made the angels reply. John leaned in. That's the power we chase. Paul nodded, that's the sound that could change our place. Richard danced across stage like the floor couldn't hold him. Every move a prophecy, every note golden. They watched in awe, watched the master unfurl, and learn that raw truth can rewrite the world. Little Richard on the keys like a spark in the dark, and the Beatles in the shadows trying to capture the spark. 4 kids, 1 king in a temple of sound. Yeah, the roots run deep when legends come around. Woo. The night shook under neon and steel. Little Richard and the Beatles, history made real. When the Beatles opened, the room tapping, maybe 1 kind word. Backstage was chaos, hairspray, sweat, song fire. But Richard sat calm, glowing pure desire. He looked at the boys and said, never hold back, the stage is a battlefield. Launch your attack. Told John, make him feel every word you say. Told Paul, smile like you're giving heaven away. Told George, 1 clean note can move mountains aside. Told Ringo, keep him marching, boy, you are the stride. Then he showed him how a scream isn't noise but a prayer. How the right kind of courage can crack open the air. He laughed loud, voice echoing through the hall. Y'all gon' be big someday, but tonight I'm still the wall. And the Beatles grin soaked up every spark of the night, knowing greatness often teaches before it takes flight. Tours rolled on, nights blurred in the smoke. The Beatles rising fast, wearing confidence like a cloak. But they always remembered those early late shows where Richard tore reality and reshaped how music flows. John said later, he raised us like a storm. Paul added, his wildness helped our style take form. George whispered, he opened the door to the sky. Ringo nodded, he taught us how to electrify. They carried his energy across oceans and stages, spread the fire he lit through the coming ages. Cause even giants remember when they knelt before a throne, learning how to turn sound into a world of their own. Little Richard on the keys like a spark in the dark, and the Beatles in the shadows trying to capture the spark. 4 kids, 1 king in a temple of sound. Yeah, the roots run deep when legends come round. The night shook under neon and steel. Little Richard and the Beatles, history made real. When time rolled forward and the Beatles shook the earth, they still look back to the nights of their birth. Before Shea Stadium, before screaming crowds, before fame wrapped them up like a thundercloud. There was Richard in sequence, setting fire to a room, teaching 4 dreamers how to rise from the gloom. Music ain't a ladder, it's a torch passed on, and every flame carries the echo of where it was drawn. Richard burned bright, the Beatles caught the flare, and the world became louder cause legends choose to share. Now history keeps the names, but the nights fade away, except these echoes that'll never decay. A king and 4 heirs in a dance of soul and steel. The kind of story only truth can reveal.